like I'm on like I guess it's American Idol.
Yeah.
Did I sing something?
Yeah.
No.
What do you like to sing? Yeah, you're in it now.
No. Please
No,
no.
we'd love to, look, we'd love to open up the table for you and flip the script for ourselves. The floor is all yours. If you have something you want to ask to somebody in particular, you can. If it's something for everybody, for the next 5 to 10 minutes, the show is yours.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk to, I'm like catching Chantel up. She's like looking up the screen. I want to talk to Chantel because, so Chantel is somebody that has like grown pretty quickly on LinkedIn. And I want to hear a little bit more about like your challenges, because I know what mine are, but I think it's always really helpful to kind of like talk to somebody that's like grown really quickly on the platform and kind of like see what they're dealing with as well.
Oh my goodness. It's hard. It's tricky. It's like I just sent a group message earlier today from I got a connection request, and it's getting more and more difficult to decipher between a real profile and a fake profile, because I don't want to I feel, when you're getting up there in connections, I don't want to waste my connections on fake profiles. I want that value. So I think that's a big challenge, right? Is weighing, what's real and who's going to be an authentic connection versus, potential trolls, right? Or people that are just trying to get in and, I don't know, waste space beats me. Because this guy was totally not a legit person. I don't know if you got that, but I think trying to figure out, also the use of time and communications. Like, so many people who constantly ask me for help. And as much as I want to help with branding, I need to make a living. I can't stretch myself and then my health at the end of the day, worrying about helping people when it's just going to drag me down and I'm going to be of no value to anybody. Does that make any sense?
100%. That's a huge struggle. I think that it's interesting when you are like a marketing person, but then you also have another platform. So like obviously for you, it's really like talking about chronic illness and things like that. So a lot of the stuff that you talk about is like very inspirational, motivational, and mine is like more on like the like anxiety and like self-esteem, confidence, and all of that stuff. So you get like a mixed bag of like requests. Some of it is like marketing, some of it is like I just broke up with my boyfriend, I don't know what to do, and I'm like, I don't want to give you any advice. It's like I'm not qualified for this.
I know there's some interesting conversations that come along into that in-mail box. That's for sure.
I bet, Chantel.
What's the most interesting conversation you've had come through?
The most interesting. I share a lot of them now. It's funny because for the longest time I've tried to kind of be, I don't want to say safe, but like, I would get like these really weird messages in my inbox and I would kind of just let them go. Mostly because I don't ever want to be that person that's like, look at all the weirdos in my inbox. And then it's kind of like discouraging for people that like want to reach out to me. And I definitely don't want to come across as like a mean person or anything like that. But what's been really great is that, I use LinkedIn and then I also have like Facebook and Instagram. So I've started sharing some of like the weirdest stuff that I get in my inbox and it's just really funny. It's just super, super funny. Some of it is like people that I think are like, it's really funny requests that I get, or like really cool, interesting kind of like opening lines that I get. And the other ones are just like straight up weird. But I think either way, it's funny to share because it's just like a more lighthearted kind of approach to dealing with that stuff. And then for the most part, it also makes you feel better because like I think probably as women on the platform, we get things that are kind of on a different level than what some of the men might get. So I think that it's always great to open up those conversations as well, just so that people don't know that they're not alone when it comes to dealing with this stuff.
Wonderful.
Sonny, I wanted to ask you, because I've had a few clients and a few people that have asked me about including family members in the content.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so curious to hear your experience, because obviously your son is like a huge part of your brand.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh,
Say hello.
hi.
Say hi to Michaela. Say hi to Michaela, please. And can you blow her a kiss? Look, she's making a funny face at you. Ah! Oh, no. Maybe later. So great. So your question is about family, right?
Yeah. Do you think that it's a positive? Do you have to deal with negativity? What are some of the pros and cons of including family members in your content?
That's a great question. And I do get that question quite a bit. I almost get it I've gotten it from a parent standpoint. I've got it when I was in corporate America, asking, well, gosh, we can't share that kind of vulnerability. I've actually had a very large company CEO, president, founder say, I could never do what you do. I don't have the courage to share that vulnerability on screen. And so I'll give you kind of the progression answer, right? So absolutely, it's hard. I can tell you that right now. It's not for everybody to be able to share that kind of personal thing. But the most important thing is I've got a charming little son like Ohm. So that makes it for me, that makes it kind of easy. But there's, of course, that balance of how much do we really want to share with him? And I've had people ask, well, what happens when he decides he doesn't want to do it? And I said, well, actually, I'll do you one better. I said, I give him that choice today. So he just turned 3. And when he and I record our videos, if he tells me I don't want to record, we don't record. It's that simple. So he knows that he has a choice today to do it. I think the other thing also is that he's really started to enjoy creating the videos together. So it's, he's getting that sense of what we're doing and how he may not understand it, but there's a bond of when we share those moments together. And that's what we're sharing with our community members and our audiences. But I'll tell you the funniest thing that probably has happened along the way, Michaela, is that my wife, when we started creating these videos, when Ohm and I started creating these videos, was like, these people around the world that you don't even know more about you than I do, right? And for every single one of us that are here that have significant others or children or whatever it is that, close family members, like that kind of blew me away, because I was like, wow, you're absolutely right. There are things that I share that I may not have just shared in person because they're just natural moments that occur. And so what it's done for me is helped me to, and I hope, right, fingers crossed, become a better husband, right, to become better at communicating, to definitely become a better dad. And then you see this group that's on here just to be a better, family member, team member, if you will. But it helps me to communicate better and to really see the perspective of other people rather than just myself. And so having Ohm in these videos has taught me so many other things that if at one point, pretend LinkedIn shuts down, which LinkedIn, we hope you never do, or imagine that Ohm says, I am never going to create a video ever again, right? So at that point, I'll have to know what it is that I want to do next, because it's just been such a wonderful progression and an opportunity to do it. So I don't think that will happen. So what I would tell the clients is that it's really up to you. I mean, it's that comfort of things. And it's not for everybody. There's no doubt it's not for everybody. Some people want to maintain that very separate delineation of professional and personal. And that's okay. That's a choice for people. Much like yourself, you've got this huge amount of transparency where you share things because it engages, even if it's that one person. And I think I read one of your articles where it was, from an ROI standpoint, you engage that one person. Forget the analytics for a second. It's that one person that you're trying to reach out and touch. And the one person, or actually the few people who have reached out to me, have tested out putting their kids in videos and then pulled back because the amount of negative comments and the haters and the trolls, that's really hard. that is really hard to deal with for most people. For me, the best thing that came from this is I had a parent reach out to me and said, oh, our kid, said the word boom boom when they saw you and doing a fist bump and blowing a kiss. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, very neat. Like, tell me about it. Let me know about your kid, this and that. And the mom wrote back and said, my kid is autistic. And when he says boom, boom, that means he's happy. And we keep doing fist bumps and blowing kisses from then on out.
Oh, man. I need tissues.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know that we knew that. Did any of you guys know that? I've never heard that story.
That's amazing. I have chills. I love that, Sonny.
Yeah.
Sonny, we're partners, and I didn't even know that.
It's all about timing. All about timing. So.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think that, part of my struggle is I have like my husband who has epilepsy, which most people don't know. So like he's actually going to the hospital next week, and he's very much like a private person. And like, part of me thinks that like there's like this big gap in my life in terms of my content that's being produced. But at the same time, like I'm so fiercely protective of like not just like my relationship with my husband, but like also my relationship with like family members as well. But I love the fact that you've been able to kind of like incorporate that into your stuff. And like getting comments like that, like that's all you need, right, to keep doing it. But I can't imagine, like I can take the criticism myself because I pretty much, 2.5 years, I've heard every single like trolling comment possible. That is really, really hard to like crack through me at this point. But like having like somebody say those things about like a family member or a friend even, that for me like just sounds like terrible. That sounds really, really tough because I don't know if I would be able to deal with that because I'm like so protective of other people.
Yeah, well, first of all the best to your husband. I can tell you every single one of us here thoughts, and we're wishing all the best and that everything works out well. But it's about that community. So I'll circle back to what you've said. It's about that community. Like I can tell you every single one of at least the gals on the UnLearn show have had those types of things that have probably happened to you and then some. And so it's about having those community members that in that family that jumps to your defense, right? That's there before you ever have. And I think Rachel Chang said this at VidCon also on stage, where you shouldn't have to be the ones that defend yourself. You've got these family members that jump to your defense, right? But that doesn't make it hurt any less. It's just over time, do you get past that? And it's almost like, what do you need to do to understand where that person might be coming from or those people might coming from? And what do you do then? Like how important is your message to continue to get out there? And, Chantel, Katie, Laci have all had those types of moments. And I think Jake and I have had it, like for me, I've had it from a parenting standpoint. So it's what do you do? And how important is each one of our messages to continue getting it out because it still impacts that one person, right?
Very true. Very true.
So did anybody else have anything else that we wanted to say? Or Michaela, is there anything else that you'd like to say? We want to be respectful of your time as well.
No, this has been really, really enlightening. I'm so happy that I got to chat with you guys. I know each one of you, but it's always such a pleasure to get to know your stories a little bit deeper. And I think community is everything. It's like my favorite part of the LinkedIn platform is this family, just like you mentioned. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where everyone's stories continue, and you can definitely count on me to, just like Sonny, what you're saying, jump to your defense and like battle the trolls on your behalf.
That is awesome. Michaela, once again, on behalf of all the co-hosts, thank you so much for giving up part of your day to speak with us and record the UnLearn show.
I could talk to you guys all day.
Oh, we could talk to you too. Thanks so much,
Except
Michaela.
it's Canada Day tomorrow, so I still got to.
So not that day.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
Awesome.